Snapdragon versus MediaTek. Which is the better option for performance and speed when it comes to powering your mid-range handset? Well, let's find out in this super speed test between the Nothing Phone 2a Plus versus the OnePlus Nord 4. Let's get into it. Now for the specs and performance, starting with the Nothing Phone 2a Plus. It is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7350 Pro chipset with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of UFS 2.2 storage. For the OnePlus Nord 4, it is powered by the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3 with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. The storage is UFS 4.0. There is an option for 16GB of RAM with 512GB of storage. My model is the 16GB of RAM with 512GB of storage. Okay, let's kick things off with the super speed test between the Nothing Phone 2a Plus versus the OnePlus Nord 4. First round is going through the social media apps to see which one opens them quickest, and right now it is looking like it's the Nothing Phone 2a Plus that's ahead compared to the OnePlus Nord 4. Can the Nord 4 claw it back when we get to the streaming applications? And so far it still looks like the Nothing Phone is ahead. Is the OnePlus Nord 4 gonna catch up and bring it back? Right now it looks like the Nothing Phone is cruising through nice and quick. Yes, it's gone through Disney Plus, Prime Video next, and it's catching up from the Nord 4. It is actually closing in. Now we're on BBC iPlayer, which for us in the UK is the home of watching the Olympics for Paris 2024 this year. And then we've got YouTube Music. Now we're getting to the heavy hitters with the games. And in this particular situation, we are seeing that the OnePlus Nord 4 is actually catching up and is slightly getting ahead. Now we're on Temple Run 2. And at this particular situation, is it going to load quickest? Yes, it looks like the Nord 4 is blistering ahead now and it's going ahead. Maybe the Snapdragon power is starting to kick in right now. So as we're looking at it from the heavy games, this is where the Nord 4 has clawed back. And how is it going to look? Yes, it's loaded. Now we're on to flip diving and the Nord 4 is slightly ahead still. But the Nothing Phone 2a Plus is not far behind at all. Now for the heavy hitters, LumaFusion, where we're exporting a 4K video at 72 megabits per second, 420 color space at 10-bit, and it is a HEVC H.265 file. Now, in this particular situation, we did switch over to LumaFusion just because the compatibility was better across the board for all the different Android chipsets that are tested, and also the optimization is really good as well across iOS and Android. So yeah, in this particular situation, we are actually playing this through real time. So if you are appreciating this speed test, then make sure you like, subscribe, and turn the notification so you don't miss any future speed tests on the channel. Of course, heavily inspired by our guy over at phonebuff.com, which is of course David Rahimi. I know him quite well, so a lot of inspiration, but much closer to what we would want to represent for our speed test. And we do actually in a lot of cases show the difference between things like having RAM plus on and off, or RAM booster or RAM expansion as some other Android manufacturers call it, to see if having virtual RAM does help in some situations. And in some cases where the compatibility is there, we are going to be using Adobe Rush, which we know on Android, when it works, it can be very taxing. So don't miss out on that when we actually get a chance to do it. But in this case, we're going to be sticking to just LumaFusion across the board. And right now, the power Snapdragon versus MediaTek, we're seeing that the Nord 4 is actually chewing through it much quicker. And we're actually going to pretty much be getting a real-time finish that we're getting here for the Nord 4. When it comes to doing this video rendering exporting test, it's gonna actually do it in real time in 1 minute 36 seconds. That's what I've got here. Now, the first lap is done. Let's see if it keeps everything in memory. Yes, it does. LumaFusion is good. Flip diving is good. Temple Run 2 is good. Yes. And we also have Subway Surfers, which is good. YouTube Music, not a problem. BBC iPlayer, Prime Video, Disney Plus, YouTube, Snapchat loads up, no problem. Threads is fine. Facebook, we're looking good there. X is looking good. Instagram is looking good. And last one is TikTok, and that is pretty much done. 3 minutes and 29 seconds for a total finishing time for the OnePlus Nord 4. But then, as it's done that, we can see that for the same equivalent 3-minute clip on the timeline for LumaFusion when exporting it, the Nothing Phone 2a Plus is still exporting. Now it's coming closer to the end. What's going to be really important to see here is how is it going to actually manage it with the RAM management for the apps, and it's going to be interesting. Right, let's have a look here. First lap is pretty much done, and we're going to see LumaFusion is looking good. Flip diving, no problem there. Temple Run 2 is looking good. And then Subway Surfers, yes, it loaded. So this is a good look so far. YouTube Music is looking good. BBC iPlayer, Prime Video, loaded up fine. And then we've got Disney Plus. YouTube is looking good. Snapchat, a little bit of time to load, but it's there. Threads is looking good. Facebook, no problems there. X is looking great. And then we've got Instagram, and last is going to be TikTok, and that is it for the Nothing Phone 2a Plus. Total finishing time 4 minutes and 31 seconds. And your winner for this super speed test is the OnePlus Nord 4, and it looks like the power of Snapdragon reigns supreme this time around. And also, the compatibility on the Snapdragon side is actually really good. It does work with Adobe Premiere Pro Rush, whereas I was actually struggling to get Premiere Pro Rush working on the Nothing Phone 2a Plus, so that's something to consider. And in this particular test, the RAM booster and the RAM expansion feature were disabled on both. So when it comes to RAM management, both devices are actually really good. What's your thoughts on this super speed test? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lovers Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.